Hello guys. So I just picked up this bike from Honda dealership yesterday, and just wanted to do a little bit of a, can't really do a review of it since I haven't ridden it yet. It's all snow outside. In a few months it'll be warm, and then I will definitely make more videos riding this thing. So you have, first off, this is the Honda CB, and it's a 650F. This bike specifically does come with ABS. I'm not sure if they made a model that comes without ABS at all. I believe it was standard, but I don't know for sure, don't quote me on that. It is inline 4, so you got your 4 cylinders, liquid cooled. That is your radiator up front there. I'm probably gonna put some sort of guard on that. You have dual disc brakes on the front, and then you just have have one single disc brake in the back. I'm not quite sure what the specs on that are. I'll probably link that in the description. I really like the rims it comes with from factory. I think they really fit the bike. The exhaust, well, as to be expected, is clunky and heavy. It does come with an adjustable rear suspension. So you would it comes with the tools that you need for this too, and then you would adjust that. It has a 17.3 liter fuel tank, and it just opens like that with the front of the key, and then to close it, you just really push down on it and it closes up. The seat, you just stick your key in under the seat there. Let's see if I can get it down. There we go. And I can't do this with one hand, but basically you turn the key and you just pull, you lift up and backwards. So that is what you look like under the seat. So you got your fuses there, battery, some relays and all that fancy stuff. And this is for your tail lights. And this is a seat. There's the owner manuals. There's a bag of tools right in here. There's a tool to adjust the rear suspension as well. Then it has these little metal hooks here that hook under there, and you just kind of lay it flat and you push it forward and down, and then it locks in and you're good to go. As to be expected, the rear tail light assembly and all that is ugly, and that is on most bikes from factory, and that is just because of requirements that they have to meet. But there's kits out there to clean that up, so where these come into the back, all sorts of kits which you can look into. Now a lot of guys these days, or girls, are looking for a bike that has a quick shifter on it, and this bike does not come with a quick shifter. But to be honest, unless you're on a racetrack, there really is no use for the quick shifter. The only time you really can make use of that is if you are racing it, and it is possible to add those on aftermarket as well. But I wouldn't say that should be a determining factor, but I guess that's up for everyone to choose. I want to talk a little bit about the headlight here. I was a little bit concerned about it. I was not a fan of how it looks. And I was very determined to change it. And maybe some of you are concerned that this whole thing is just one unit with the gauges and all that. I haven't taken it apart, so I'm not 100% sure, but from what I have seen, the actual gauge cluster is separate inside of this housing. So for someone who would want to change, to like a round headlight, which is what I wanted to do, but the more I look at it, the more I actually start really liking the headlight that it came with. So I think for now I'm just going to leave it like that. But I believe you most certainly could retrofit a different light on it if that's what you were interested in. As for comfort, I believe that this is a bike that is great for probably, you know, even taller people. I am 6'2". I'm sitting on it. My feet are flat on the ground. And it's quite comfortable riding position. My knees come in nicely under this. There's plenty of room here still, so even if you have longer legs, you know, this bike could still work for you. And even for shorter riders, this could definitely work, as I have plenty of room to throw this bike around, even just with my legs. So we're going to start it up. I had it running once earlier today. And mind you, it is very cold. It is minus 20 degrees Celsius or something like that here right now. And so it does take a few turns to start in such cold temperatures. So going to redline it. It has not been broken in yet, and even right now it's still pretty cold temperatures, so that was only about 2,000 to 3,000 RPMs, and the rev limiter on this bike is I believe just after 1100. It comes with a 17.3 liters in the tank. I'm told I'm supposed to be expecting about 300 kilometers out of a tank. I'm not sure if that's accurate, or maybe 300 to 400 kilometers out of a tank. As for the headlight unit, so you have your low beam, which is on right now, and then you have very conventional plain switches here. So low beam, and high beam. On low beam, as you can see, the bottom portion of the light gets illuminated, and that is your high beam. And for low beam, it's just the top half. You also have your signals running as running lights. Then those are your four ways. You have your signals here, very basic horn, and your kill switch and your starter. You have your clutch, obviously, and that's your front brake. So this bike specifically has 6 gears. Top end speed, I'm not sure. I would have to take it out to know for sure, but from what I've seen, guys getting 250 kilometers per hour. I believe some guys maybe even a little bit more, but somewhere in that area. And again, it's a 650cc. This is not a liter bike, and I'm not planning on ever going, you know, those kind of speeds anyway. I wanted something that was a little bit more fun in the lower end, and still was capable of going, you know, 200 plus without a problem. Now, the one concern I did have also was the front suspension. I personally am a bigger fan of inverted suspension, but I suppose on a smaller bike like a 650, it would not necessarily be a necessity. I mostly just like the look of it better. If that is what you prefer, there is the, I believe in 2019, they are making a CB650R. It does cost a little bit more, but it has a bit of a different look. I don't want to say retro, but it's almost a little bit more of a retro look, and that one has the inverted suspension. It also has different headlight, but this bike I was able to get at a very good price. It was a demo bike at the dealer that I bought it from, and it's a 2018, and we are nearing spring of 2019, and so with that, all prices drop already as is, and I got a pretty good deal on it just from the dealer because it was a demo bike, so it was too good to pass on. Now as for the gauges, you have here kilometers per hour indicator. In the manual you can set it up so it shows miles per hour for you who live in the States, or if you live in Canada and you just prefer the miles per hour system, but that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Your rev range will be shown here. Those are just your signal indicators, fuel tank. It'll show your fuel mileage here, which you can press a button here. If I can press it, it is so cold. The rubber is very, very cold. Let's see if this will work. There we go. It just has a 46 kilometers total on it. And those are all not mine kilometers. Those are kilometers from the dealership. And trip 45.2 kilometers. And here you have your indicators: ABS light, engine light, neutral, low oil light, all that fun stuff. Okay, and that will be all for today. If you guys are interested in keeping tabs on this bike, I will be posting more videos once riding season starts. It's going to be sort of a moto vlog, maybe some minor modifications, things like that. Just more about the bike in general, kind of learning it, seeing how it goes as I start riding it. And I also have something planned for this summer, a bit of a longer trip that I'm going to try to take this bike on. And yeah, if you guys want to stay updated, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you then.